Welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak on this 22nd day of September 2025. I'm still with Senator Nyoto, DG Francis Mwangangi, Fred Okango, and Wilson Sossion, having a conversation about politics and projects. Or is it projects of politics or politics of projects, which way you want to look at it. And we've been talking about the different visits that we've seen the president making to different parts of the country. I just wanted us to tie that, DG, because when you hear that markets are being built in Nyanza, and this is squarely a function of the counties, do you know what the arrangement is with your colleagues in some of those counties?
Thank you. Sam, I appreciate you are giving each one of us time to prove himself and prove to the country and beyond what they are saying, and you leave it for the world to maybe gauge whether what is being said is true or not. UDA is killing democracy in this country. I take you back to the then Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, the current president, when he spoke at Charterhouse in London. He talked and castigated a mongrel that was then form of leadership in Kenya then, that the sitting president was supporting an opposition candidate and vice versa. What has he done when he came to the office? Number two, the same candidate then said he was highly mistreated in government, and that if he happened to pick any deputy president, once they are in the office, that person will be respected. What did he do when he came to the office? We are talking about the same president who then advocated strongly for devolution. Today, some, the national government, but not the national government, any partner within the national government, they are doing literally everything that is supposed to be done by the counties. Is it agriculture? They are doing everything. Is it water? They are doing everything. Is it roads? They are doing everything until the court ruled otherwise the other day, but they have not even implemented as I sit here. We are talking about, and it is good, we have a panelist here who is pro-Laila, who is pro-Ruto, and it is good. But I'm reminding him, it is the dictate of the Constitution of Kenya, passed by Kenyans, and promulgated by a man who truly transformed and meant well for this country. This administration, actually, they take more than 4 months to release what is constitutionally provided for to counties. And you expect the basic services which are supposed to be offered by these devolved entities to run smoothly. Sam, how do you go to a dispensary next to you? It has no medicine. The workers have not been paid for months, and you expect to receive a quality service. This administration is killing devolution in Kenya in favor of centralism, a centralism that has not worked for this country or anywhere in the world. Sam, I think if we can respect the constitution that we have in this country, most likely this country will be the most prosperous in this part of the world. And finally, I want to say this. I think UDA, they are on a mission to purchase every leader who is available. That is why the few who have been left standing to advocate for issues affecting Kenyans are a candidate to be bought to support. And I can support my hypothesis this way. Before any budget making is a process. It involves public participation, public input. Then even before then, we saw the UDA then going everywhere across the country, meeting the people and being given memorandums of understanding. Once you people, we give you your votes, please go and implement this for us. I thought by now we should be getting a report card from the administration that is in power today on the implementation of that, the status report. But the only thing they can give, and I challenge my fellow panelists here to quit that thing that was formed the other day on compensation. The first thing, we need to know who abducted and killed these Kenyans. That should be the first thing. Number two, you cannot abduct, assassinate, slaughter our people, and then you are the one to compensate them. That is very unfortunate. So I think we need to be very serious.
But help me understand here.
Yes.
Because you're being told that markets are being built in some of the counties, are there markets you're building in Machakos County?
They are there.
Are you getting support from the national government?
They are doing literally almost everything.
How did that happen?
The only thing we were asked to provide is the technical input. But as far as I'm concerned, markets are perfume and a function of devolved governments.
So, technical input, what does that entail?
It entails providing engineers, the county staff, to go and ensure what is supposed to be done is done. Who does it? Who does it? How it is done? They come from Nairobi to go and do.
So the resources, the construction material, the procurement?
The contractor is given by this team.
not Fred, the national government team.
Yes.
And is there any written agreement between the county government of Machakos?
None. Not anywhere. Even the ones being built in Homa Bay, all those places you say.
Give me an example of a market that is under construction by the national government in Machakos.
There is one in Kidimani.
Kidimani.
There is another one in Masinga. There is another one in Mutituni. Okay? Yes.
And all these, you've had no resources allocated from the county government?
Zero.
Is that okay, Senator?
It isn't, but kindly allow me to just say one thing, although I don't know...
Before you say those other things, I just wanted to say this, because these are function as per the Constitution.
Yes.
Trade development and regulation, including markets, is the work of the county.
Yes, it's not right, of course, but you know...
and the Senate is aware.
President Ruto, the Senate is aware, and these are issues that we have raised, but President Ruto will want to do everything where money is. You know, in the mind of President Ruto, because I know they will ask me whether I'm a mind reader, but you know, you will see how somebody, you know, the trajectory somebody takes. He would want to control every other cent, so that those who benefit from any public resources benefit directly from him on condition that they support him. And that is why the national government has taken over some county functions. So it is not right. This is a devolved function. And our clarion call in the Senate has been, let, resources, you know, go with functions. But that has not been happening. And it is not only in markets, even in health. I mean, the kind of resources that health facilities need are so massive. We should actually not be retaining much at the national level for health. But we are not giving resources.
Okay. I'll get back
functions.
to you. Yes. I'll get back to you. So, Mheshimiwa Deputy Governor, so these markets, are they, who decided the market to be built? Is Kidimani, is Masinga, is Mutituni?
At first, you know, everybody, including clergy, are claiming to have been conned. You know, at first, when the new administration came to power, we used to meet, sometimes with the head of state, sometimes with the second deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, and we were getting assurances that, first and foremost, all the remaining functions plus monies will be transferred to counties. then the other thing, we will collaborate in doing some of these things. So at one time, we got that assurance at Kenya School of Government that the national government, in collaboration with the counties, will implement a policy of constructing markets. So governors were given a go-ahead and go and identify all those places. It was not clear to us how it will be implemented, who will implement, but there was that, because it is provided for in the Constitution.
So it is the county government of Machakos that directed the national government to these markets?
We were asked to identify those places. We did, yes. And that was the only thing we did.
Did you do the costing?
No, that is being done by the national government.
And how far is the progress on estimate?
Majority of them are stuck.
They have stalled?
Yes.
So if they are being constructed, never mind you're saying they're stalled, did it take the support of Kalonzo Musyoka for them to be started?
Oh, this time I've never heard the story of Kalonzo Musyoka. I'm just hearing it now.
Okay. Now, I'll get back to you, Honorable Sossion, because Fred, you said there are certain regions that have been isolated, that the president is working hard, even with regions that did not vote for him. But when that working hard entails encroaching into functions that are not devolved, is that being constitutional?
No, it's not. And that's why I started by saying, while we understand that there's politics, but what the law demands of this is that whatever is devolved remains devolved. And those functions must be followed with the resources to achieve that aspect of it. Number two, in access to services, the national government and the county government are distinct and interdependent, and always are expected to conduct their arrangement on consultation and cooperation. So what is the level of cooperation? What is the level of consultation to ensure that the public get that development that is so desired? I sympathize with DG because he is the deputy governor of Machakos, and he is therefore expected to understand that in delivering service to his people, what are the objects of devolution that is expected of them to achieve? Self-governance, developing their own affairs, managing their own affairs, socio-economic development. That is expected of them. Also, they should have enough money to do that. However, situations demand that they also should sometimes get the equitable share of revenue, which might not come as soon as they want, because of whatever reason in this country. I sympathize. But I want to remind him that in all these things, sometimes it's important to collaborate. And when you see that things are not going right, as you have rightfully cited some, that there is some element of, executing functions of the county government, then you raise an alarm. Raise an alarm, because you stand with the truth.
But what is the possibility of doing that? Because you can imagine, I'm just being practical here.
Okay.
You can imagine the governor of Machakos, for instance, standing up and opposing markets. Where do you stand politically at such a time? And the essence of that question is it possible that the national government is using projects to posture itself in the counties and to sort of disadvantage the regions should they speak up against the abuse of the Constitution?
There's a possibility, but what I'm saying is, I don't expect any governor to oppose the construction of markets. I don't expect them to oppose any development in the county, because it is to the benefit of their people. But
even if that operation is
to highlight the issues of operation and say, this is a devolved function, let's consult and collaborate as per the provision of Article 6. Let's do that. When they do that, then even the person who is going to impose that will see the need. But as I said, there is politics and development. Unfortunately, you cannot separate the two. They go together. Today, we are talking about politics of projects. These projects, the governor of Machakos needs them. The governor of Homa Bay needs them. The national government needs to ensure that they are done so that he they can demonstrate to the public that we help the county do them. What is important is the channel, the constitutional channel of doing them. If it is a devolved function and the money has been followed to the county, let the county do them. The question we also ask, what is the county doing the money that have been given to ensure that that development is ascertained or achieved? Sometimes we have seen from the Auditor General report that some of these counties, they don't do that. There are queries. So, equal to the national government.
Okay.
In my last submission here, Sam, is that my expectation is that the county government and the national government must cooperate, must collaborate for the benefit of the
people. Should that cooperation be verbal in a meeting?
That cooperation
or in
can be
writing?
Both. It can be both. It can be both. But ordinarily, it should be documented so that the people know and understand that this is where we are headed. But otherwise, it will remain politics, as we are saying here.
All right. Let's take a look at the feedback that has come to us from Kenyans who are watching us. I'll get to you, Mheshimiwa Sosion, as we continue the conversation. Babu Michael, you're saying that the politics for projects has become a norm in this country, and what disturbs me most is government officials like the Speaker, Solicitor General, CSS, IG, and others openly involved in politics, including appearing on car sunroofs, which is unconstitutional. Okay. Engineer Lazaro, you're saying that Senator Nyoto, don't castigate the whole Nyanza region in your blame games. There are people in Nyanza and not supporting Ruto, not benefiting from Ruto. Please stop your divisive ethnic balkanization. Then Lekishon Laban, interesting how Okango, once neutral on national issues, now echoes Ruto-Raila narratives. Can't he see Ruto wooing regions with state resources, saying no time for politics while on campaign mode? Good question. Please note it down. Sam Masika, is supporting Ruto the only path to development for regions? Is the president of Kenya, is he the president of Kenya or merely the president of those who sing his praises? Isn't this what the 2010 constitution was to cure? Another question. Then your Bobo Tieno, listening to President Ruto keenly, Etukambani with projects for politics. He desperately needs Kalonzo Musyoka to join him for his re-election in 2027. He knows Raila Odinga vote can't help him. That's Bobo Tieno writing to us. While this was happening early in the week, he met with some religious leaders from the Evangelical Association, or Alliance actually, and he was appealing to them to work with his administration. Watch.
And I want to ask you as Christian leaders to work with us so that we can get this country to the next level. I am very confident about the future of this nation. We have people who don't believe in our nation. They don't believe in our ability. They speak ill about our nation. They speak negative things about our nation.
And then some of the leaders from the opposition side have been speaking. Hear what they are saying.
Those bishops are given prados. Roman Catholic walikataa zawadi hiyo. Hii ni pesa ya umma. Ona watu wakati wameanza kuuliza hizi pesa nyingi umezitoa wapi?
Utakuwaje unaunganisha na huku wengine wanasema endeni mniachie viongozi wa sehemu hiyo. Hawa ni wakuongwa. Sasa watu watakuwa wakununuliwa na zile hela zao.
And those bishops wanapatiwa prana ambaye sasa tufuate setup. Kwenda ongea na Kalonzo ajiunge na mimi. Yaani wao.
Na lazima tumalize hii siasa ya handouts na bribes. What we want is to do what is right for this country and to transform our country.
Well, the president thinks there's a bit of mediocrity in that. Watch.
We have wasted a lot of time making peace with mediocrity, working with the average, when God wants us to be excellent. In our lifetime, it is possible to move this country from the third world of today to first world.
So, Mheshimiwa Sosion, I mean, yes, indeed, it's possible to develop this country from whichever world to whichever world. But why are we struggling with the constitutional dictates, especially in those places of separation of the state and the religion, and separation of the national government and the county government when it comes to implementation of the functions, and also separating politics from development, even though Fred thinks they go hand in hand?
I think all these, we are struggling with interpretations and looking at separation, but there is a very thin line between even the state and the church. There is a thin line because the church is a strong conservator of social rights of people. And you look at all religions, and so it's critical. Like, you can't deliver healthcare in Kenya without the support of the church and religious groups. When we talk about counties and national government, there is a point of collaboration. It does not mean that there is an electric fence between counties and national. It doesn't. The Constitution envisages collaboration in working together. And when you look at the Kenya Kwanza administration pillars of development, it really touches on what happens at the grassroots. Agriculture does not happen in Nairobi. It happens at the grassroots. It's pillar number 1 of Kenya Kwanza administration. Housing, the same. Universal health coverage, the same. So then, how do you navigate it without undermining devolution and without also isolating the critical role of the national government so that it is done? And if I can go back to the president's statement of Ukambani, for example, if you look at data from Ukambani, the registration in SHA is very low and is attributed to the brand of politics that is being bandied around. And that affects very badly the delivery of health care. Registration of farmers for fertilizers is also very low. And of course, I've seen you struggling with the governor here to determine to question who really approved the market in Machakos town. It was through the county government, that collaboration. So there is a point of collaboration. And so when you are directing projects like now, you are rolling out universal health coverage. It is a critical service. Individual counties cannot do alone. The national government must do it through SHA and through the different processes of legislation that it has done. I think as a country, we should be orderly and civilized. And civil knows that we are on the road of transformation. And where collaboration is important to be undertaken, let us do it. Take, for example, let's look at Governor Gladys Wanga. From day one, she started lobbying for critical projects for her county, including the landing beaches for fish and the rest, and several other array of projects and programs, which actually are underpinned in the Kenya Kwanza manifesto. And all those have been able to be delivered. I'm sure even Wavinya Ndeti, I saw in State House quite a number of times, and I'm sure part of it is also lobbying for those kind of programs and actualizing the implementation of all those programs. So in developing the country, let us not interpret the Constitution and the laws upside down. At the end of the day, national government and county government serves the people of Kenya. It is one people. The only thing is we must have a seamless way of operating. If a market is built in Machakos, at the moment of completion, it is operated by the county government. It cannot be operated by national government, but it has been delivered through a combined approach of national and county. If, for example, universal health coverage is made to work, all the primary health care facilities are operating with medicine, with personnel, through the direct budget line of
so why not just transfer
government?
Those resources to the county government to construct that market?
I don't think that if it is a unified national plan, that cannot be done.
No, it can be done. There are things called conditional
This is now
grants.
where we have confusion, where you think...
when you look at the budget of the country, there's something called conditional grants that go to the counties to finance certain programs, even if they are funded by external, we call them development partners, but they are donors. So conditional grants can go to counties to develop certain...
Yeah, of course. Conditional funding with respect to the project can be done, but still certain projects can be delivered directly. And I don't think there is any breach of law. Yes. There has been consultation.
No. The only consultation he says is identifying that Masinga, or is it Kithimani, is the market that we don't construct.
Is that not consultation?
But beyond that, even the question of costing, the procurement, there was no input from the county. He's here, he said.
No, the details on the mechanisms of how to deliver, who procures and how it's procured, I think that should be left to that aspect of consultation. But when you look at the president has been elected.
What do you mean by
that? The president has been elected.
Sorry, what do you mean by that?
What I mean is that if within this collaboration between counties and national, it is agreed that the procuring entity will be the parent ministry and superintendents. For example, SHA.
No.
Can you split SHA
Talk to me about markets.
into 47 pieces? You can't.
Leave SHA alone. Talk to me about the markets.
It's done by the line ministry, Ministry of Lands. That is vested with the responsibility under the Constitution to deal with matters to do with housings and buildings, which are national. Once they are concluded, then they can be handed over to the...
No.
Yes.
The role of the national ministry is policy. Not
it's
development
policy and implementation.
Of projects. No.
It's policy and implementation. It's implementing housing. It's being done. Where is the law that prohibits the national ministry from implementing the same? It is not there. Now, so I think we are engaged in confusion of interpretation. At what point do we have proper collaboration between national and county government? If a market is built, say in Muranga, and it is operational, and it is built through the national framework of the Ministry of Lands and Housing, the moment it is concluded and handed over, it is not operated by the ministry, it's operated by the county. I think let us avoid confusion between delivery and operations.
Now, the risk here is if development of certain projects or programs continues to be at the control of the national government, so that the development is at the whims of the national government, and then a leader in that region has a fallout with the president or the national government, then the citizens are affected.
Now, this is where we have confusion.
Just wait, there's no confusion here. I'm just asking you a question. Yet, if that project or that program was financed, yes, by the national government, but resources going to the counties, then there would be no confusion because the county would implement it regardless of the political support of the leaders.
I think we are trying to imagine that projects operate under the mercy of politics and political leadership. It is wrong.
The president said
as a country, no. As a country, that's the wrong interpretation. As a country and as per the law, all citizens and all regions have every right to access all aspects of development, irregardless.
Yep.
And once a project is approved, it is budgeted for, and it's lined up for implementation, it must be implemented and delivered, regardless of politics. And I think as a country, we've come of age. What we should focus on is structured, legal, and constitutional delivery of projects without fearing politics. The problem that we have is political benefits, political bonuses from the same, that you think the Kenya Kwanza administration should not succeed in delivering houses, Kenya Kwanza administration should not succeed in delivering universal health coverage, Kenya Kwanza administration should not succeed in delivering the pillar on agriculture. Why? Because it will benefit politically. I think that is the brand of politics. And it is being myopic to interpret, to look at development from the lenses of selfish political interest of parties or groups and groups aspiring for power in 27. It's not right.
But, I want to hear from Senator, but what is it, DJ?
I want to comment something on devolution. Allow me to take you back to something you yourself, as a person, you covered extensively on ESP, Economic Stimulus Program, and the third president of the Republic of Kenya, the late Emilio Mwai Kibaki. What happened is, by then, we had no new constitution. We had no devolved functions. But what President Kibaki did, and that's why when the history of these countries is written, this will be one of the great leaders who occupied State House and meant a mark. ESP was a national government program.
Yeah.
A policy that was executed, planned by national government, but executed at the constituency level. That is why in each of the then 210 constituencies, we have centers of excellence in terms of schools. Sosioni knows too well, but he cannot recall because he was busy organizing teachers for strikes. He can't understand that. Now, I have a different opinion with what he is proposing here.
Yeah.
I think any policy of the national government devoid of politics should be implemented across all the 47 entities without anyone questioning or saying this belongs to this party or this. As long as it is a policy of national government, it should be implemented equally, fairly, and within the framework of timing that is given.
Right.
So it is misleading for Honorable Sosioni, somebody who was once a celebrated unionist, I don't know now, to sit in a national forum like this one and mislead the country. All we need is a national policy. National government has no business in doing SHA, but because they are interested in billions in SHA, that's why you are seeing they are holding on it. Any function that is devolved actually should go to counties. Any resources that are still being done by the national government and are supposed to be done by counties, I propose it should go immediately without any further delay. It is so sad. We have this kind of two leaders, PhD holders, who cannot simply understand this.
Okay.
It is so straight. They were here during Kibaki. Some of them served under Kibaki. And they saw how he implemented devolution even before the actual devolution came to be. It's very unfortunate, Honorable Sosioni.
All right, DJ. Now, Senator, when it comes to oversight, because you primarily protect the interest of the counties, and to a great extent you oversight, because I've seen you invite county governments and their leadership there. But when it comes to construction of markets and you're assessing the value for money, so who is going to audit this? Who is going to oversight this? Is it you or is it the National Assembly?
Thank you, Sam. And I think it's important for me to observe that I think we are spending too much time on each part of the list, and so sometimes points are escaping. And still in line with that, the Deputy Governor took my chance. So he has gone twice before.
No, it's okay, Senator.
No, it's important. We have to...
We're having a conversation.
So yes,
if he has...
It's important. So what I'm saying is...
Allow him to
all I was saying, Sam, is, each one of us wants to make their contribution. So it's important, even when somebody has a point, to wait until their turn comes. But commenting on this, on markets, Sam, I think the concerns for me are actually very different, because I'm asking myself, looking at some of the locations where these markets are put up, my concern actually, one, it is important as a member of the House that is actually supposed to protect devolution, that we raise the issue that you are raising, that the national government should not intrude or take over devolved functions. But I've told you it's because of the money. That is why, of course, it wants to do that. That's a major concern for me. But more concerning is, if you look at some of the markets and the locations, you will find them, probably if public participation had been done before such structures, such projects were implemented, probably the locals would have given or would have proposed, more pressing issues, Sam. Because I can tell you, some of these markets are storied. And I can tell you in some very small trading centers, where I can assure you the locals there who are the market now, will never even get to, to go to first floor of that particular building to purchase their daily needs, because they just, they just need some sukuma wiki, some cabbages, because the others they get in their shops. So I would even question whether actually, if public participation was done, whether people would have approved of the same. Because we have more pressing issues, Sam. Remember now, we are going to admit our first class of grade 10 next year in senior school. And yesterday there were reports here that publishers are saying they need about 5 billion Kenya shillings in order for them to publish books that will be needed next year by grade 10. They are saying some 3 billion shillings that the government owes them for books they printed or they published for grade 9 is yet to be paid. For me, Sam, I think that is more pressing. Sam, there were reports here yesterday, and that's why, and I'm still on the markets issue, that's why when I hear Sossion and the president say that people should stop politicking, I get very worried that we should stop speaking about SHA, because, so that development may come to our places. You had the media, you reported yesterday in this particular media house, Sam, that RUFA, I think that is Rural Private Hospitals Association, will not honor or will not treat any patient going forward who expects to be covered by SHA. When this is happening, Sam, so because of unpaid claims, when this is happening, when genuine claims from private hospitals and other hospitals have not been cleared, Sam, we had reports last week that we had lost about 10 billion to hospitals that had actually placed fictitious and fraudulent claims, and that was reported widely. So we are told to stop talking about that so that the people of Kombani should get development. We are told that we should not talk about what is not happening in schools so that we get development. We are being told we should not point out at killings, and Sam, please allow me. I have heard some legislators in my county also saying that Joe Nyoto is always criticizing the national government, is not oversighting the county government. And I want to tell them, show me any particular young man or old man or woman that has been killed by Kangata's county askaris and have kept mum. You will not hoodwink me to stop talking about killings. In Murang'a, we lost 3 young men. One was widely reported, Boniface Kariuki from Kangema. There was another one from Kenyona Ward in Kegumo. There was another one from a place called Kahaini in Kandara. But you see what the members of the National Assembly who support William Ruto want us to do? Not to talk about that. We are mouthy. We are preventing development from coming. Sam, and you have asked an important question of oversight. I refuse to take advice on marriage from somebody in a failed marriage. The National Assembly is supposed to oversight the national government. So we have not had them point out these issues. They have failed terribly. Some of the people telling us that we are talking about national government, we are always criticizing the national government without oversighting our counties, are people who have never said anything in the National Assembly.
So the question I was asking you is,
yes,
because markets are being built.
Yes.
We don't know who is determining how much it should be. Yet questions may arise from the Auditor General's report. Who will deal with those questions? Is it your House or is it the National Assembly?
We will deal with those questions to the extent that there has been an overreach by the government, by the national government, on county functions. But the people who are supposed to ask and audit, and oversight the national government is the National Assembly. They are the people who are supposed to ask hard questions that, hey, this project was implemented by the national government. So, like you had observed, the county played a very insignificant role, and therefore the oversight part of it then becomes the National Assembly duty, because these are national resources expended by the national government. In the counties. And we will be asking why the national government is actually, what do you call it,
encroaching.
On encroaching on counter functions. But, you know, some you have asked, I mean, about this mediocrity thing. Some allow me to mention just this, because I forgot to mention it. The Kalonzo Musyoka has never chased away any machinery that came to Kambani to make development, like in our place also. So our politics does not prevent the national government or President Ruto from implementing what he needs to implement. So let him not blame, I mean, local leadership. Okay. And the most important thing you have asked Sosion, who I hear is tipped to be the next CEO of TSC, and he has an advantage. I think
those are your own words.
He has I just say I hear. I mean, I just wanted to ask him some. Yeah. I just wanted to ask him that should he, because he has an advantage of speaking he has an advantage of speaking the same mother tongue with the President Ruto, which is an advantage. If he ever gets there, just to ask him not to break TSC, there he broke not. I mean, KNUT. I mean, just to ask him to be, if he gets there, because he's my friend, and we want him to help us, but to take care of TSC.
I don't think you're being fair. You're going past.
But he's here.
and I don't know what that means when you say that he's positioned to get a certain job. But
Sosion is my friend, so I don't think he has taken it with the bad.
I'm just wondering.
Do it well like I've done in others.
I'm just wondering, does it disadvantage his candidature or help it? But we'll wait and see. Let's hear what the president said, because there has also been many delegations, which we spoke about last week, of different leaders to State House, teachers as well, and many groups going there. So the president has been speaking. The opposition believes that these are bribery events. Watch.
Wanalalamika ya kwamba nimeyafungua makao haya yakawa ni makao ya watu rejareja. Ati nimeshusha heshima ya State House. Mimi nataka niwaambie sijashusha heshima ya State House. Nimeinua heshima ya Wakenya.
The other day he called the people of Kiambu and spent 60 million shillings. A week after he called the people of Meru, spent another 60 million shillings. Today he's going to spend 60 million shillings. He's giving people 10,000 each.
Yeah, so of course there are many other voices of people that are opposed to State House visits. We'll be listening to that shortly, including former Chief Justice David Maraga and Martha Karua on what they have to say about some of those visits. But the president was speaking at that event of Social Health Authority when he was unveiling that nearly 2.2 million people are going to benefit from financing because some 538,000 households will be supported by the government. Let's listen to the other opposition leaders on how they're saying.
We teachers, the university dons have given notice. I don't know when it is expiring, and they are downing their tools. What does that tell you? You have money to bribe, you have no money to pay university dons.
He cannot have money for bribery, but not money for the welfare of lecturers. He is a letdown, and it looks like he wants to be the last hustler to be educated and to stop any further education for the children of hustlers.
So I want more fupi on this one because you're running out of time. Starting with you, Fred. Why is failing now? Starting with you, Fred. Because, yes, of course, it is within the right of the president to invite whomever, to host whomever that he wants at State House. But there are those questions that are being asked about the accountability of public resources. Because when you hear, they are citing 60 million, former deputy president is citing 60 million for Kiambu, another 60 million, another 60 million of events that have been conducted. We don't know about that, but at least we have a confirmation from the chairperson of KUPPET saying that when teachers visited, 10,000 of them, each got 10,000. So that's 100 million shillings as reimbursement on transport, without considering how much it cost to make them comfortable while there. But when it comes to utilization of public resources, where are our priorities between meetings, delegations versus real services? What he mentions about education, the question of healthcare services in the country, the university dons that are downing their tools, where are our priorities?
Sam, I agree with you. One thing I've noted there is that Martha Karua is a politician. Our good judge has turned to be a politician, Maraga, you know. Rigathi is a politician. And Rigathi Gachagua should be the least to comment about hosting delegation of status, because he was the principal assistant of the president then, and he was hosting the same. He was helping him host those people. So he cannot today come out and say, you know, there are bribery allegations. But be that as it may, Sam, I know that the president is the head of state and government. And State House is his residence and office. And therefore, as you have rightfully said, he has the right to host delegations there. But there have been these questions of bribing or bribery allegations. I don't know who, the quantum that, you know, Rigathi is using to ascertain that it was 60 million or whatever it is. Oh, left for the teachers who went there, and one of them has said, you know, they were given 10,000 as reimbursement. It is reimbursement, as he says it. While they were not given that money, if at all there was money, to go and support Ruto. I don't think so. But I want to believe that the nature of engagement that the president is having is an engagement that is useful to the people, particularly those stakeholders groups. Because for you to listen to them, he cannot drive or fly to every village to meet every teacher, but he can meet them at a point and address them and address their needs. It is most likely that the teachers have issues, and I know they do. They want those addressed. Those issues fall squarely at the national government. Who is the head of state? The president. He must listen to them. He must address them. Number three, I have also seen some, every time a delegation goes to State House, the united opposition, where my good friend Senator Nyutu now sits, because he left the government, today is the opposition. I don't know, I've never seen somebody running from government going.
But you left the opposition and joined government, didn't you?
Yeah, you go to the government, you don't get out of government. You go, people want to be in government.
So you've just switched places.
I've not switched places. I've gone to government because I believe that my people and our people and Kenyans deserve development. And therefore, when you go there, you push from within.
Who are your people?
My people are people that I interact with every day. I come from a village. I come from a ward. I come from a polling station. They look forward to me. I come from a constituency. They look forward to me. They want me to help them. I have two constituencies, Kabondo, Kasipul, and Langata.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to.
So you're representing your people?
As a Kenyan who participates actively, I represent the people. Now, let me just finish by saying, it is important to understand that the delegations that go to State House, they go on invitation. State House, while it is a public office, you cannot access it at will. There are protocols, protocol.
We have not faulted the presence of Kenyans.
I know
at
that.
State House.
I'm just building a
The
case.
question I asked you, please make it short because I need to hear from the rest of the panelists in the next 6 minutes.
Oh, 6?
Yes, it's about 8 p.m., 8 a.m. The prioritization of resources that you actually think 100 million shillings is best utilized to reimburse transport, overtaking certain lecturers back to class?
So maybe the question is, whose money was used to reimburse? Was it public money?
You tell me.
I'm asking. Because the public are alluding that maybe it could be public money. But who has confirmed? Was it public money? If at all there was money.
Whose money would it be?
In my view, if it is not public money, Sam, if you have 100 million in your pocket, I don't dictate how you use it. I don't know whose money is it. That's why I'm asking the question.
Mheshimiwa Sossion.
Yeah, we also need to say something.
Tell me about that, because he says teachers have issues to be resolved. Well, you served as Secretary General of NAT and previously as chairperson. Were your issues resolved by your employer or by the president then?
Even as I answer that, I think it's good allow me to do a disclaimer on how
Go ahead.
I pass as one of the best secretary generals in the world who transformed the lives of teachers who were riding to schools in bicycles. By the time I left, they were driving cars. And I ensure that teachers were made very decent. It is public knowledge. But then on this particular issue that we are discussing, the president has right to meet people, delegations in State House, and within the lined budget meant for State House. The budget was not the budget for universities, neither was it the budget for the Ministry of Interior or any other ministry. And I want to state categorically here that the president, even meeting teachers, if I talk about teachers, he didn't start last Saturday. 23rd of June 2022, the president assembled a huge team of teachers at Catholic University. And that is where he signed the charter.
How many were
there? They were close to over 1,000.
Over 1,000?
Yes, over 1,000.
Was there transport reimbursement?
Over 1,000. Yeah, of course. There was. Of course, there was.
How much was it?
There was transport, I can't recall, but okay. I think they were paid. Because you must facilitate people to a meeting. You must. They can't use their money.
Yep.
Delegation of teachers, elected leaders who will sleep in Nairobi here, they'll sleep in some hotel. They will spend money fueling and transporting. You must facilitate. And that is, it's common government practice and public institution practice that you reimburse. And that was done. And that being so, I think we should look at the value of the meeting. And within the framework of ILO UNESCO recommendation, the political and democratic rights of teachers to engage the government on issues that affect them and those which affect education is codified and provided for. It is only that President Ruto became the first president to invite them and engage them from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And there are a lot of policy resolutions from that meeting that would affect education. Okay. And I think that is key, that is primary. What is the value of reviewing CBA, for example, which was a benefit to teachers? What is the value of having discussions around capitation and rectifying the anomalies that have persisted in the past? What is the value of establishing a CBC resource center in every county that is going to empower teachers when they are teaching? What is the value of codifying the right to access the housing in terms of among teachers? Okay. Those are key issues that are fundamental and beneficial to the country. And that budget was meant to implement that. And to me, that is modest. Those teachers should have even been paid 20,000, 30,000, according to me. Yes. From what? State resources. These are senior citizens. They're important people. You can't invite them to State House.
At least you're not denying,
yes,
like Fred saying that.
And I think that was the best meeting. And the president should continue having such structured meetings that are very impactful to the implementation of policy programs of government and advancement of development of this country. Those who believe that the president will benefit politically are bitter. Let the president benefit politically because currently is a president.
You're also a teacher.
Yes, I am a teacher.
So with the meeting of 10,000, all the concerns of the 415,000 teachers are now resolved.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Sam, and that's why I was asking. Please allow me to say something.
Go ahead.
It's hypocritical of the president to purport to be calling teachers to State House in order for him to understand their problems. The problems of teachers, and Sosion was the Secretary General and first chair of KNUT. I mean, the concerns of teachers, the needs of teachers are well documented and negotiated with the TSC. All the president needed to do to know what teachers need was to consult the employer, TSC, and if he thought that TSC would be unfair to teachers, then talk to the representatives of teachers who are KNUT and KUPPET. So it's hypocritical, and it's actually bribery that was happening there. And I have heard them with Fred here saying that every Kenyan has a right to visit State House. And it is true that that State House should not be something like sacred ground. I mean, it should be open to Kenyans. But I want to ask my two friends here. President Ruto invited 6,000 people from Murang'a and gave them 10,000 Kenya shillings each. Murang'a has a population of 1 million people. Can they tell us what the president is going to do in the next 2 years to see to it that the rest 995,000 people from Murang'a also visit State House? I mean, that is important for them to tell us. And when I hear Fred here, who has been a very progressive debater, say that he joined the government for his people to get development, I mean, that is what is called mediocrity. Because Fred, a very good debater, is telling you that in order for you to get development for your people, you need to be in government. So Fred is saying, he's perpetuating and supporting President Ruto's hypocrisy of you must support me in order for your people to get development. I'm very disappointed with Fred today that he can perpetuate such a narrative, such an argument that if you don't join government, then your people do not benefit from resources. Finally, they like talking about Riggy. I think I want Fred to get a good pastor so that the pastor may be able to deliver him from the hallucinations. He says that the Riggy should be the last person to talk about delegations. He hosted delegations in State House. Really? From Fred? When? Where? He says he doesn't understand how Riggy got 60 million, the figure of 60 million. It is simple, Fred. Even a class 1 people can tell you how Riggy got this figure. There were 6,000 delegates from Murang'a. Each one of them was paid 10,000 Kenya shillings. Fred, 6,000 times 10,000 equals 60 million. That is where Riggy got that figure. But the issue of that Riggy this, Riggy that, but we understand because they know that that is a person that is going to deliver this country. Thank you, sir.
No, why do you say that when you don't have time? Because you need to interrogate what you just said. DJ.
Call us here. You can even call us again. With friends.
Your final word. Are you calling delegations to... Do you have a State House in Machakos?
They have a White House.
They have a White House.
There is something very good. I want to say the following. Actually, almost 4 points. One is the current administration doesn't appreciate institutionalism and constitutionalism. There is nobody who has a problem with any leader meeting, any delegation from anywhere, whichever venue. But we have a problem when we hear we have counties who have not received their allocation share for almost 4 months now, and yet you have 100 million that you can spend on delegations. We have talked before. I was here.
Yep.
And Fred, then, I think you are the one who interrogated us here. In fact, he was falling short of not recognizing this government. When he was almost leading us into streets. You know, he's very good in that. Now that he's inside, he can say it is violation of the Constitution that anybody like myself, I can propagate and promote a policy that is going to alienate, discriminate any part of this country, Sam. I think we should look at Kenya as a whole and we ensure we do what we are supposed to do. You know, this issue of devolution, Sam, I think let's appreciate and make these 47 entities centers of innovation, creativity, and wealth creation. It is possible if all those national agencies and ministries that have huge budgets and are performing tasks that belong to counties, we allow all those resources to go to counties and ensure we do what is supposed to be done. I've heard, whenever you hear devolution being discussed, people say, what are you doing with your own source revenue? People say we are corrupt. We have institutions that should deal with that. We allow them to do their work. We have Auditor General, we have DCI, we have ESCC. Please, let's allow institutionalism in Kenya so that we can deliver our services. And finally, Sosioni and Fred and the group, please don't bother looking for Kalonzo. It's not about to join.
All right.
Yes.
Talk to the spokesperson.
Yes. So don't send. You know, there are so many brokers. There are so many brokers who are going to Kalonzo, who are doing this, who are doing this.
They can talk him. They can talk to him through the spokesperson of the family. They can do that through the
Citizen Daybreak. You know, the problem with the panelists this morning, they're introducing new topics at the end. Sir Nixon Ndugiri is saying that the president seems to be overworking.
How can you say that he's going
No, excuse me. Senator, let's read the feedback. The president seems to be overworking, like he is micromanaging too much. Some of the statements he is making can be done by a government spokesperson, while a lot can be handled by CSs and PSs. Babu Michael, the KK government has made unconstitutionalism normal in Kenya, from building markets, which is a county function, to CSs being involved in active day-to-day politics. I feel the president is more concerned about his popularity than constitutionalism. Then Remy Butia, you're saying projects should absolutely not be dished out politically. Development must be needs-based, transparent, and guided by national policy documents like the CIDP, County Integrated Development Plan, and National Vision Statements. So remember, Vision 2030 is just about 4 years and a few months away. Let's wait how we get there. Thank you so much, Senator Joe Nyoto, DG Francis Mwangangi, Fred Okango from government, and Wilson Sossion, former nominated MP. Asante sana. My name is Sam Gichuku. See you again some other time. Up next is Pori Monday. Bye for now.